Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the elemental energy reading for the month of February for the element of water. Water covers the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of the fishies. So, if you are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or have water high up in your chart, this reading is for you. If you've never had your charts done, there's a link in the description to a natal chart. I highly recommend it. It's not a sponsored thing or anything like that. Just a really good tool if you've never explored those things before. So with that, we'll get started with the I-ching, and I cast the hexagram before starting the video. So our hexagram for water is number 43. And 43 is the hexagram of resolution. Resolution: when a proclamation is made in the court of the king, frankness in revealing the true state of affairs is dangerous. In making announcements to people of his own city, it is not fitting for the ruler to carry arms. It is favorable to have in view some goal or destination. So basically what we're hearing here is don't announce everything that you're doing. Make your plans behind the scenes. Let your actions be your voice. And there's no reason there's no reason to be hostile when people, maybe push against what you're saying. Be frank, be upfront. If you need to explain it, then do, but it's not a reason to broadcast your moves, is what I'm getting here. And trust the people who are closest to you. The people who are within your own circle. If you're discussing stuff and you're making your moves and they're like, you might want to rethink that, those are the people to take under advisement. But it's not advisable for the month of February to broadcast your actions. Keep your explanations simple but not harsh, and don't walk into situations spoiling for the fight. So that's where we're starting at. Our foundational line, the bottom line, is to set out with a great show of strength, advance but win no success. To set out with a great show of strength, advance but no win is shameful. That is worded really weird. This is that part of like broadcasting everything you're talking about. You've got these big plans, you're doing all these things, but you can't follow through with any of them. It all falls apart, and then it makes you look bad. Shameful in a lot of the Eastern terms, that is like the king insult. So this is saying you fail as a person if you do that this month. And it's not really a good idea to broadcast your movements anyway, but it's really for water, not a good call this month. So your second place line, though disturbed by cries in the night, he who is armed has no fear. Don't worry about what other people are doing as long as you're secure in what path you're on. And that's, when they say armed, it could be safety around your home, it could be spiritual armaments, or it could be mental fortitude. Whatever that comes up for, they can cry all they want over there as long as they stay over there. It's not necessary to, again, pay attention to the squawkers that are naysaying or trying to demean what you're doing. Again, keep your plans to yourself. Let your actions be your explanation. Your third place line, strength in the cheekbones, misfortune. The superior man is firmly determined, but if while walking alone in the rain he is irked by the mud, he is not to be blamed for that. Strength is in the cheekbones. What does this mean? Some of these terms are unique. What is that number? Oh, 6. Making a parade of our strength. Okay, so again, don't broadcast what you're doing. I'm gonna do this great thing. I'm gonna fill in the blank. I'm gonna start this business. I'll have $50,000 in the first 2 weeks. Probably not. So don't go bragging about things. Let your actions be your example. The superior man is firmly determined, but if while walking alone in the rain he is irked by the mud, he is not to be blamed for that. If there's things that are slowing you down and it's kind of frustrating you because you know you can move forward faster, those are justifiable frustrations because you have to clear the space, you have to waste some time cleaning things up so that you can move forward. Those are justified frustrations. And that's what they're saying is you're out doing the thing and you're getting this messy goop collecting on you, but you have to clean some of that up to be able to move forward. So those are justified frustrations. And a lot of times what I'm getting is that is stuff that's outside influences that are coming in. They're just trying to mess you up. So you have to sit there and clean it out, block it off. That's not my problem. This is where I'm headed. So water, this is going to be a little bit of a testing month for you to make sure that you are focused on the things that you really want. So our 4th place line is his haunches have been flayed and he walks falteringly, though he could put an end to this shame by allowing himself to be dragged along like a sheep. Moreover, he puts no faith in the words of others. So this is not the best place to be for water. There's going to be some trials, there's going to be some struggles. That's that whole, his haunches have been flayed, your legs have been kind of beaten up, and that's slowing you down. As you're slogging through the mud, you're tired, you don't want to fight about this anymore. But the thing is as long as you keep moving on your own independently, you can still move forward. Being dragged along like a sheep means you're okay with just following the rest of the crowd like, oh, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm giving up on everything that I've worked on. I've given up on my spiritual life. I've given up on that promotion. I've given up on starting my own business. I'm just going to let life carry me because I am so done. Okay, that's your choice, but that's probably not the best option. So our 5th place line: with the tenacity of spinach clinging to the earth, he blamelessly steers a middle course. You have to stay neutral in some of the nonsense that's going on, water. It's going to be a rough month. It's not saying it's going to be a bad month. There's just going to be some trials that are popping up along the way, and we'll hopefully clarify some of that with the tarot, or at least get some support in it. But with the tenacity of spinach clinging to the earth, some of these plants, when you're gardening, if you know, are a pain to pull up by yourself. So it's kind of like you're heading down the right path. It's a middle course. It's not going to be easy if you aren't paying attention. There is some intelligence that has to be brought into this, where seeing what's going on and being able to separate the wheat from the chaff is going to benefit you greatly as you go through this month. So our capstone here, in the end, misfortune will come without warning. So there's going to be some ups and downs this month, water. It's not going to be rainbows and butterflies. It's definitely not going to be an easy road to plow. But what it is going to do is strengthen your resolve. It is going to help you step into the life that you've been wanting to live, and it's going to help you secure within you the strength to continue on. It's not saying that this is going to be a bad month. It's definitely just saying that there's going to be some trips and stumbles. It's all in how you react to it that is going to be whether you come out on top or you come out rolling in the mud. The big thing is, don't announce your every move. Keep certain things to yourself. Allow your actions to be the example, and only really pay attention to those in your inner circle. If your inner circle is tight and they are trustworthy, you don't have to worry about what Fred and Susie down the street are saying. And that's not somebody I know, it's just random names. Because they could be like, oh, I cannot believe so-and-so is doing that. But your inner circle's going, why are you listening to those people? You don't know them. So leave them alone, let them do their thing, you do you. So with that, we'll hop into the tarot and get a little clarification on all this. I read week by week, so there's 4 weeks in February, so we're going to have 4 sets. Each week has a guide or guardian, which is someone to help guide you through the week or someone to guard you from the unwanted stuff. A message from source, which is generally positive, supporting information or something to kind of help you along the way, and then a lesson or challenge from the tarot, something to work on, or maybe something unknown that might be coming in to push against you. As you know, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, the whole concept. Sometimes you need those rougher times to be able to come out on the other side better off. So we're starting off with the Golden Atlantean Dragon helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis, awaken, bringing back your knowledge, gifts, and talents, reclaiming your mastery. This dragon is coming in to say, it doesn't really matter what's going on in this first week. You have been here, you have done this. This is not a new story for you. This is not a new time for you. Don't forget, you are in the Standard Tarot, the Magician, you have already gained the knowledge, the skills, and the basics to move forward. So don't give up when something comes in. The Golden Atlantean Age, the time when Atlantis was at its peak before they got arrogant, is the time when you're tapping back into. It was a glory day. There was so much available to you at that time, and what the Golden Atlantean dragons are coming in to say is, you have those things accessible now again. There's not a secret door that you're never allowed to get into. Sometimes it's convincing or reminding ourselves that we have access to God's source divine. We have access to legions of guides and guardians and angels and support systems. It's our self that blocks those access. It's that egoic mind of, I don't need any of that. I can do it on my own. You can, it'll just take a little bit longer. So tapping into that Golden Atlantean energy this first week is going to be very supportive. Your message from Source is Memories of Atlantis, Spiritual Acceleration, Progress, and Technology. It's kind of ironic that we have 2 Atlanteans in the first week here, which also says a lot about you, Water. That's indicating that Water is going to be on a spiritual journey. The I-ching was talking about some hiccups along the way. This is how you're starting your cards, is saying this is probably going to be more of a spiritual thing where you're going through some ups and downs in your spiritual life. So remember Atlantis, tap back into the energy of that time period. This is going to help your spiritual acceleration, as the card says, because you're remembering where you were in that time, and that can actually speed things up now because you can remember the spiritual technology that you had, the spiritual concepts that you were able to understand at that time. You're able to bring that back. So really meditate on the concept of Atlantis. Work with those Golden Atlantean dragons as we're going through this first week. Let's see what the tarot has to say. And we have the 2 of Spring, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. This is actually a lesson. It's a good idea to partner with someone who's on a similar journey. No one's on the exact same journey, so don't think you're going to find that. But partnering with someone who's on a similar journey, someone who can support you, someone you can bounce ideas off of, they can bounce ideas off of you. But your overall goal is spiritual growth for yourself and helping that person along as well. So this is a good lesson. This first week is about you tapping into your personal history, but also you may end up meeting other people along the way on the similar journey. And then it's that connecting of, we've done this before. We've went through all this before because we met back in the day, however many centuries, millennia, whatever you want to call it, when Atlantis was still here. So this is not your first go-round with this person. Let's take a peek at your second week. We have the Fire and Water Dragons, the union of opposites. Enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and be ready to move forward. Expect the unexpected, but have fun. This dragon is saying that merging fire and water is a trick. Being able to bond opposites is a challenge, but when it's done correctly, it unlocks this mysterious thing called the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone. This is the second week these dragons are coming in saying, you're on a spiritual journey. You've been doing the things. You've been waking things up. You're tapping into your Atlantis memories, but you've got some challenges coming up. The trick is, take the challenge, turn it into a lesson, but have fun in that journey. When you're able to take a challenge and look at it for the benefit, not the negative, you're actually flipping the script. You're transmuting negative into a positive. But when you can do that, and you can do so while kind of having fun with it, enjoying the journey, not just slogging through the mud, it's going to make your life a lot better. And the second week, these fire and water dragons are saying, we are literally the union of 2 very volatile opposites. We've got this. So water, if you happen to know a fire friend who is, bonding on this same journey, that could be a very good indicator for this second week, is who you're working with. Who you're working with in this first week and who you connect with actually is going to play a part in the second week as well. It's funny. We have been getting snow or rain for the last week, and it is so dry in my area, part of Idaho. So, a little coffee. Um, your second week's lesson or message from Source is the heart of Source, all encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, and serenity. This second week's message from Source is saying God Source Divine is waiting to hear from you. God Source Divine has blessings to help you unlock and reveal the beauty of transforming those negatives into positives, those challenges into lessons, those what you may feel as, why am I being cursed? Why is this happening to me? All of that kind of stuff into some of the most amazing blessings moving forward. The fire and water dragon are reminding you you have the ability to transmute and change the negatives into the positives. God Source Divine is saying, I can help you if you are willing to work with me. It's not a force. You have to ask for it. And that's what's coming in the second week is you have a lot of blessings available to you. You have a lot of support. All you have to do is ask. So your second week's lesson or challenge is the 5 of Spring. We're staying in that theme apparently. Opposing goals arising from different opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. Watch out for egos of others. You're on a spiritual journey, which means your ego is going to be a little bit hostile with you as well. But the ego doesn't like to not be in control. But the ego is a tool of the soul. It needs to be brought back into control. So this is what the 5 of Spring is saying. Other people in their egos, because they're watching you. This is why we don't broadcast things. We just let our lives be the explanation. If they hear you talking about your spiritual stuff, other people are going to roll their eyes. Oh, I cannot believe they believe in that stuff. What are they doing? The 5 of Spring is saying, don't let that come into your bubble. You can hear it and acknowledge it as over there. That's their issue. Because opposing goals arising from different opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, this is not a time for you. They're arguing over something, and they're kind of play fighting, but they're arguing as well. This is not a time for you to worry about what other people are dealing with. You have your one friend, could be that Atlantean partnership, it could be a fire energy that's matching with your water to help deepen your spiritual journey. That's the important part. Those naysayers and those, what is that other term I hear on the internet all the time? Detractors are not your problem. Let them go do their thing over there. See what they're doing, where they're at, and steer clear of that mess. It's not your drama to drag home. So your third week's guide or guardian is the Sunshine Yellow Dragon. Helps you to help animals, serving animals, healing, respecting, and understanding. This is not just about animals. They're saying when you can start to understand where you're at in life and how other people interact, it allows you to show compassion and actually allows you to be a living example to others. And I don't feel that this card is specifically talking about animals for the purpose of unenlightened or how do I put this? People who have not woken up to the fact that they are spiritual beings, people who have not woken up to the fact that there's more to life than going to work, coming home, sleeping, eating, and bathroom breaks. Those are the people who are living by instinct. And in a lot of ways, that puts them in a category of, and this isn't derogatory, but it puts them in the state of animalistic, because they get up, they do the same thing, they have the same pattern, nothing changes, nothing alters, there's no growth, there's no potential. Their ego drives everything that they do, and they kind of live feral in that respect. Not wild, but there's not a soul conscious awareness within their life. The Sunshine Yellow Dragon is coming in to say, you can live by your spiritual example to reveal this truth to other people. You're not going to do it through words. I'm going to put that out there right now. You're not going to convince people through words. If they ask questions, you can respond, but it's not going to be as easy as just telling everyone how to wake up. I don't know if anyone has ever watched the old 1980s version of Dune, the new Dune. I haven't watched the second one yet, but if you go back to the 1980s version, there is the Reverend Mother when she's testing Paul. She makes the comment that he makes the comment, I'm a human, and she says, we'll see. She tests him, and then she says, stand, young human, because you've been able to conquer your baser responses. You've been able to conquer that egoic, animalistic side of who you are that's just a reactionary. That's what I'm getting with this card, is you have already been through the fire. You've already done the stuff to kind of step out of that reactionary mindset where you respond from intellect and higher abilities. Water, you have such a deep emotional knowledge anyway, and if we get to all the way to the Pisces, you've already been through the other signs. You already have access to all that knowledge. This is something that you are very uniquely steered toward in this third week, is being able to step into a place of expansion, of growth, by example, helping others find their path. This is not going to be an easy month for you, Water. It's not going to be playful. It's not, I mean, it could be. It's all dependent on how you act in response to these things. But it's definitely going to be an interesting month. But this is a serious month as well, because you've got some growth potential, but it's not just your growth that is occurring. Your example is showing others. So our third week's message from Source is the Palladian Activation card, coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolutions. When we tap into that higher frequency, it allows us to bring others to us by our magnetic light. It weaves a web of unbelievable beauty around us, whether we can see it or not, and it draws people in to work with us, to ask questions with us, and to expand through themselves. There will be people by your light that are very not okay with that, because their egos are dominant in their existence. Your ego cannot be killed or conquered. Not the way people talk about it. The ego is a tool. It is a face you apply to the world to allow you to walk through life and be able to deal with the nonsense that goes on. But it needs to be kept in check. The soul is dominant. That higher divine will is dominant. So your divine will, your supreme awakened consciousness, is what is driving and controlling everything. There's times you slap the ego in place because you've got to go deal with that coworker you just can't stand. There's times when you have to go deal with as a customer going back to return something, and you see the only checker there is the one that is the biggest pain. You have to slap that ego up for a second just to be able to be like, this is what we're doing. It's kind of like your shadow aspect. There's jewels and everything. This is what they're saying with this activation, with this Palladian energy, is be the light that transforms, but understand that by your light, those who choose to walk in a darker state are going to be agitated by that. So it could be a little interesting in that third week. But overall, Source is saying, embrace your inner light, embrace your connection to God, Source Divine, and allow that to be the driving force in your life in this third week. So we have your lesson or challenge is the 9 of Autumn. Reward yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, cherishing your time alone. Don't forget, as you're going through this month, you're doing some growth. There's going to be some challenges there, but it's also calling you, the 9 of Autumn is saying, don't forget to have fun. Play some music, dance, sing, go out to dinner, take a bath. Do something, especially in this third week, that is just for you, and it's something that you enjoy. If it's going to the movies, go do that. If it's reading a book, set aside an hour and go do that. I was having that conversation with a friend last night that we were gonna go have a night where we just sit at home by ourselves, like her house, me at my house, and enjoy reading a book with a cup of hot chocolate and just forgetting the world exists for a little bit. Do something like that for your own self. It doesn't always have to be challenge, turn to lesson, work. No, spirituality also has a lot of fun involved, so don't forget that part and really enjoy those little moments that you get that you can have fun. But 9 of Autumn in this third week is saying, set aside the time to have that fun. And for some of you, I know that's video games, do that. If it's working on an art project, do that. Set aside the time to enjoy totally frivolous activities just because you like it. So our last week's guide or guardian is the deep blue dragon. Keep you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected and walk on a path of light. The last week of the month is a reaffirmation that you have done the right thing. You have been protected even though there's been challenges, but the deep blue dragon is saying, you're not walking this path alone. You're not doing this on your own. You have ample resources at your disposal. Keep yourself grounded. Keep your energy strong. By shining that light, it repels the darkness. There's days where you're not going to feel like shining. That's fine. That's where the ego comes in. Here, you shine. I'm not in the mood. So work with the things that you have, but don't forget, like the deep blue dragons coming in, let them clear the pathway. Let them take out that stuff. If you're dealing with something that is struggling, that is hard, you can't quite figure out what's going on, ask your guides, ask your guardians, ask your angels, your dragons, your whatever spirit team you've got. Be like, okay, can you, one of you, if you have a name, go with that. If not, just call out to the one. Can you clear this out of my way or show me the way around it, because I'm struggling. There's no fault in that. It's admitting that you have things to learn. There's aspects to grow. They, as in our spiritual teams, are here to be supportive of us. And if you don't know who to call on, Archangel Michael is a really good one to help clear paths. He's got a gigantic flaming sword, and he will cut whatever it is out of the way or show you how to navigate around it. He's a great strategy guy when it comes to battles. So use him if you need to. Your message from Source is the Crystal Skull: wisdom, clarity, divine healing, and high vibrational energy. The end of this month is going to reveal the truth, the expanded you, the energy that has been shifted, transmuted, and healed within. The Crystal Skulls have a unique gift of transmitting energy, of transmitting knowledge, of being able to help you understand with clarity why this stuff happened. Even if you don't understand as you're slogging through the mud through the month of February, when you come out on the other side, this last week, the Crystal Skull Wisdom with the Deep Blue Dragon, they're coming in to reveal to you, this is why this happened. So when you look back on the month, you'll be like, oh, now I get why it fill in the blank happened. Now I know why I had to put up with that customer, that coworker, that situation at the car shop, whatever it is. By the end of the month, the clarity will come through, and it will almost make you giggle. And it might actually make you laugh out loud when you're like, that's why that happened. So Source has a unique way of reminding us that it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. But even though when we're walking through the muck and the mire, there's always something beautiful around, and there's always a positive outcome at the end. Just sometimes you have to get through that process to reach that point. So our last week's lesson or challenge is the Queen of Summer: loving, comforting, emotional, and intuitive. Listen to your heart. I want to repeat that. They're giving me chills right now. Listen to your heart, water, as you go through this month. Your heart will guide you. Your intuition will guide you. Bring your brain and connect the two so that you're doing things logically as well. But really pay attention to your gut instincts this month. Listen to your heart. Intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others perhaps too much. Don't overextend yourself. The Queen of Summer is a very active queen. She is very busy. She has lots of things going on. She can juggle a lot all at one time. I mean, look at her. She's surrounded by the fairies, and she's surrounded by sunflowers. But notice the sunflowers are all facing her. She has a lot going on. But even she, in all of her busyness, at the height of summer, takes the time to take care of herself as she intuitively moves through her life. As you move through this month of February, water, don't forget to take care of yourself. If you're dealing with some struggles this month, if you need to talk to somebody, do that. If you need to seek out some help, do that. Ask your guides and guardians for help as well, because that's why they're here. By the end of the month, you'll understand why the struggles occurred, and they're giving me a couple of different areas. Work is a big one this month, and I don't know what that is implying just yet. It could be the fact that it's a short month, so your paychecks are going to be a little wonky. But they're really emphasizing the work thing, and they're also laughingly saying customer service dealing with automobiles, so who knows. But really tap into your heart, really tap into your guides. Walk through this month observing what's happening, keeping your plans and your ideas to yourself. Allow your actions to speak louder than your words. with that, I will let you guys go. Have a great month of February. Again, these are general readings. Take what works, leave the rest behind. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions, and I will see you in the next video.